Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Stuart Dougherty, joined by my co-host for this week's episode, Castora.
Hi, Stuart. I'm excited to be hosting with you this week. And what a beautiful week we had weather-wise.
Yes, it's an absolute gorgeous week leading into the Easter weekend. I hope Brian's forecast for the weekend looks good, and I hope his forecast looks good continuing into next week during his extended forecast.
What do you have for us for Nature in the News?
Well, for this week's Nature in the News, I have a story about a wallaby that got let loose in suburban Charleston, West Virginia, and a story about crabs interacting with humans in the country of Cuba. How about you?
And I have a story about the historic March tornado count in a mini California heat wave. And with that, let's get into Nature in the News.
A hopping Easter being came to visit the people in St. Albans, West Virginia, just northwest of Charleston. Well, the being wasn't the bunny, rather it was a wallaby. The wallaby escaped their home on Wednesday evening on April the 6th. One witness saw the wallaby hop through her backyard and confused it for a kangaroo. What makes wallabies different from kangaroos is that adult wallabies are half the size of normal adult kangaroos. Adult kangaroos can be as tall as an adult human, around 6 feet. The local animal rescue group in St. Albans named Pig Pig searched in a local neighborhood to search for the wallaby. The wallaby, whose name is Pantouf, was rescued by its owner in a local orthodontist office parking lot. Its owner remarked saying it helped that Pantouf is an adult and is no longer a kid and was able to be dragged out from underneath a parked car. The owner believes Pantouf escaped through a faulty basement door. Pantouf has its own Instagram and Facebook pages. Both are named Pantouf the Wallaby. Following its capture, it wrote on its Facebook page, quote, "I managed to get out of the house last night and make a ruckus in the neighborhood. Thankfully, my neighbors helped my human to get me home safely at 11 p.m. Thank you for all that are worrying about me. Hashtag I am home, hashtag Pantouf the ruckus, hashtag Pantouf the Wallaby." As of April 12th, Pantouf has 4,000 followers on Facebook and over 900 followers on Instagram.
With 210 tornadoes, March 2022 now goes down in history for the most March twisters on record in the United States. The previous record was 192 in 2017. According to NOAA, the average number of tornadoes in March from 1991 to 2010 is around 80 tornadoes. Typically, months like April, May, or June have the most tornadoes, but a favorable pattern caused the spike in numbers. The main events were on March 5th, March 21st through March 23rd, and March 29th through 31st. All of which had at least one tornado ranked as an EF3, causing significant damage. High temperatures and plenty of humidity provided instability in the atmosphere that, when combined with wind shear, created the perfect ingredients for many tornadoes. Wind shear is the change in wind speed and direction with altitude, which can provide the rotation necessary for tornado formation. Low pressure repeatedly formed over the central United States, when combined with high pressure near the East Coast, provided a feed of warm and moist air from the Gulf of Mexico to fuel these storms. It's important to note that these numbers seem to be higher because recently, more weak tornadoes have been detected.
When crabs are mentioned, many from State College think of the blue crabs from the Chesapeake Bay. However, in the Caribbean, local crab populations move during the seasons. During the fall and winter months, crabs in Cuba move into tropical rainforests on the island. During the spring and summer months, the crabs begin to migrate to the Atlantic Ocean. One of the popular locations is La Playa Huron, or Huron Beach, near the Bay of Pigs. Migration started earlier than usual in late March. Municipal authorities near Huron issued warnings to drivers to avoid traveling during the morning and evening hours, which is the favorite time for the crabs to move. If they feel threatened, some may puncture tires with their pinchers. It is estimated that around 3.5 million crabs die each year due to being run over. Even though it exists throughout the Caribbean, Cuba is the only location where these crabs interact with human life.
California and other western states experienced a short burst of heat last Thursday. A large ridge of high pressure is situated over the region, breaking records for high temperatures across the state. It's important to note that the snowpack in the Sierra Nevada is at one of the lowest levels in 70 years, making some worry how much this heat may speed up the melting. A lack of precipitation in the area is to blame for the low levels. Temperatures were around 10 to 25 degrees above normal, with most temperatures sitting around 90 degrees Fahrenheit, with Santa Barbara breaking a record by hitting 90 degrees on Friday. Long Beach maxed out at 101 degrees on Friday, breaking a record that was last set in 2014 at 92 degrees. Although these temperatures don't seem that drastic, this mini heat wave is still considered extreme for this time of year. Californians are in for a roller coaster, though, as temperatures cool down by the beginning of the next week.
Hello everyone, Penn State student meteorologist Brian Michigan here for your central Pennsylvania forecast. Now the past week across Pennsylvania certainly has been on the above average temperature side. However, that doesn't really look to last as we head into this weekend, kind of falling back down to below average. I'll get to that in just a minute and into the extended forecast, but we're going to start out with Friday. We have this high pressure system sitting to our south. It's going to be really aiding in keeping temperatures still slightly above average for your Friday, and it's also going to help keep the sunshine in play throughout much of the state. Can't rule out the chance for a spotty shower off towards the Erie, Pennsylvania region and other areas of the Great Lakes. We also have shower activity off towards the north and east along the New England coastline. You can see that low pressure system that impacted us earlier on this week sliding off the coast there. And our next big weather maker is sitting to our west. You can see this cold front draped across the region, bringing some snow showers to upstate Wisconsin and even some mixed precipitation in Michigan. Now that's going to be moving its way eastward as we head into Saturday. Not going to be a whole lot in terms of a washout for Saturday, but definitely some spring showers on and off throughout the day, throughout much of the eastern seaboard. Now that changes as we head into Sunday as the low pressure system moves off the coast and the cold front slides on through. We're going to really change up the weather for Sunday, mostly sunny skies on Sunday. For any Easter activities, certainly going to be a nice day to get those in. We still are dealing with the showers in far northeastern portions of New England, but in terms of us here in Pennsylvania, it doesn't really look to affect us. We have this high pressure system sitting to our west. It's going to be moving its way eastward, so throughout the day Sunday looks to be a beautiful day, and especially to start the next week. We'll get to that in the extended forecast, but to recap this weekend, 65 degrees with the bright sunshine on Friday, all thanks to that high pressure system, going to be keeping temperatures slightly above average. Friday night, dropping down to 49 with the isolated showers out ahead of our next system. Saturday is when that system comes through with the cold front. 63 degrees, still temperatures slightly above average for this time of year, but that'll change as we head into Saturday night. Temperatures dropping near freezing as the passing of the cold front moves through. Partly cloudy skies. And for Easter Sunday, 52 degrees with mostly sunny skies. So definitely a great day for any outdoor Easter activities. Coming up next, we have a feature by Jimmy Wendolek on home run weather.
It's officially springtime in Pennsylvania. The birds are chirping, the bees are buzzing, and the baseballs are starting to fly. Opening day for Major League Baseball was Thursday, April 7th, and fans were ready to return to the ballpark and watch their favorite teams in action. But whatever team you root for, all baseball fans can agree that home runs are one of the most exciting parts of a game, and the weather can play a big role in whether the ball gets over the outfield wall or ends up being a long flyout. Weather affecting a baseball game is not a new concept. Rain delays and cancellations are extremely common during the summer months, and some locations, such as Denver, can even see games delayed or canceled due to snowfall early in the season. However, many do not understand the impact different weather conditions can have on the flight path of a baseball. Studies have shown that there are 4 atmospheric variables that can impact the path of a baseball: wind, barometric pressure, humidity, and temperature. The effects of wind can most easily be seen by fans in the stands. Gusty winds can help nudge a baseball over the outfield wall, or on the flip side, help keep the ball in play. Just a breeze of 5 miles per hour can affect the final location of a batted ball by 15 to 20 feet. Therefore, the wind speed and direction can drastically change the number of home runs hit and potentially the outcome of a game. Now for a meteorological variable that is much more difficult to notice: barometric pressure and altitude. Coors Field in Denver, Colorado is known for being a hitter's paradise, and a big reason for that is the altitude for at which games are played. The stadium is located at 5,211 feet above sea level, over 4,000 feet higher than the next highest ballpark. So what makes the ball fly further at these higher altitudes? Well, it all has to do with air density. The higher you go in the atmosphere, the less dense the air becomes. This means that there is less drag for the ball to overcome while flying through the air, therefore allowing the balls in Denver to travel further than a ball in Miami. The effects of altitude can be seen in statistics, with home runs traveling 19.8 feet further than the MLB average, and pitchers allowing more runs than the league average at Coors Field. While cities like Miami and Atlanta do not have the elevation of some other MLB cities, they do have another advantage that could help carry the ball just a little bit further: humidity. You would think that it would be easier to hit home runs in environments with dry air, but in reality, moist air is less dense. As the air becomes more humid, it contains more water molecules. Water molecules are lighter than other atmospheric gases such as nitrogen and oxygen. Human conditions do not change the distance that a home run travels all that much, but over time, baseballs absorb some of the water in the atmosphere, making the balls heavier and less bouncy. There is one more meteorological variable that can greatly affect whether a batted ball is a dinger or a dud. Studies show that if the average MLB game time temperature was 10 degrees Fahrenheit higher, there would be 6% more home runs, and actual game results have proven that to be true. On July 2, 2002, a record number of home runs were hit in one day, 62, and out of the 15 games played outdoors, 10 of them were played in above-average temperatures, including a whopping 12 homers hit in Chicago. These numbers show that balls do carry better at higher temperatures, leading to more home runs and more runs in general. Game time temperatures between 91 and 95 degrees see teams score an average of 5 runs per contest, but as the temperature drops into the mid-70s, the average runs per game drops to 4.4. Overall, like many outdoor sports, weather can greatly affect a baseball game, specifically whether a fly ball is going to be a home run or just a long out. So knowing the current temperature, wind, humidity, and altitude of a ballpark will help players and fans know when to expect a long ball. Reporting for Weather or Not, I'm Jimmy Wendolek.
Hello everyone, Brian, Michigan, back at it again for the extended forecast. We're going to be taking you through the back half of April, but first we're going to kick things off recapping our weekend. Friday looks to be a gorgeous day, 65 degrees, so temperatures still above average for this time of year. Saturday, the same story throughout the day. However, we will have those spring showers in play. After the cold front moves through, we will be dropping down pretty drastically. 33 degrees is your low on Saturday, rebounding to 52 on Easter Sunday with those mostly sunny skies, so a great day for any outdoor Easter activities, dropping down again to around freezing for Sunday. And next week, you could see April showers, really the name of the game throughout much of the week. You could see Wednesday, really the only day where we don't have some sort of precipitation chance. Temperature-wise, we're going to be starting well below average for this time of year, about 10 degrees below average to start next week. Steadily increasing as we head through the week, getting back to around average on Thursday, and as we get into Friday, that's when we can finally be back above average. So coming up next, we have your quiz answer.
Well, thank you, Brian. Hopefully those April showers will bring Mayflowers, as my mother always says.
And now here's your whiz quiz question. How many tornadoes occurred in the U.S. in March of 2022? Is it A, 120, B, 180, C, 210, or D, 280?
And the answer is C, 210. Well, that does it for this week's episode of Whether or Not. We hope you had fun, and we hope to see you next week. And as always, I'm Stuart.
And I'm Caroline. Have a great evening.